Yeah. They watch the wins. But never read the margins. Yeah. I learned patience staring candles that don't move. Minutes feel like hours when the discipline's the proof. I don't chase green numbers, I chase clarity and truth. Every loss just tuition for the version never view. I journal every scar, every trade I didn't take. That restraint costs more than the money that I made. People counting profits, I'm accounting for the days where I chose to sit in silence, let the impulse fade, yeah. I've been trading time for skill, not applause. Risking comfort for a future I can stand on and call mine. They confuse motion with momentum, I pause. Cause the edge lives where emotion gets declined. I'm rich in the margins, poor in excuses. Built this from patience, overnight illusions. Process over profits, the math never lies. You only see the wins, I see the years in disguise. I'm rich in the margins, wealth and restraint. Every no trade, put a brick in the frame. If it cost me my peace, I'm declining the game. I don't need to be loud, let the ledger explain. They flex results, I flex routines. Same setup, same risk, same screens. I don't gamble on hope, I position belief. Confidence backed by receipts, they'll never see. Lost friends to the grind, lost sleep to the vision. Lost money learning when, stand down and listen. Funny how the losses sharpen intuition. Now I smell bad trades like it's part of my nutrition. Yeah, I measure growth and consistency. Not likes, not praise, not sympathy. They celebrate moments, I honor frequency. Repetition made me dangerous eventually. I ain't chasing freedom, I'm earning control. Time is the asset, keep selling me short. I don't want the car if it came from my soul. I read on my mind and the things that I own. I'm rich in the margins, poor in excuses. Built this from patience, overnight illusions. Process over profits, the math never lies. You only see the wins, I see the years in disguise. I'm rich in the margins, wealth and restraint. Every no trade, put a brick in the frame. If it cost me my peace, I'm declining the game. I don't need to be loud, let the ledger explain. Yeah. They ask how long it took. I ask what they're willing to lose. Yeah. Everybody want the outcome, nobody wanna count it. Now the patience paying attention, pounding my reach. Same manual attitude, grounded in peace. I don't rush the moment, I ride when it's time. Cause pressure made diamonds, but timing made mine. I built this brick by brick, trade by trade. Family first, though, had to carry the weight. If they studying me, tell them study the weight. That's where the difference is made. Yeah, no shortcuts, just alignment. No panic, just assignment. I don't react, I refine it. Execution over excitement. Yeah. I'm rich in the margins. Let them count the money, I'm counting the seasons. I'm process over profits. If it cost me my peace, I'm declining the reasons. Let the ledger talk. Let the ledger talk. Process over profits. Yeah. Locked in. Yeah. Profits over profits, that's the law that I live. I don't chase every candle, I protect what I give. I'd rather take the small loss than lose the life that I built. I'm in love with execution, not the dollar or the guilt. Process over profits, I don't move off hype. Risk first, then reward, that's the way that I write. If the setup isn't clean, then I'm passing on the trade. Cause I'm married to the process, not the money that I made. I remember formal days, every ticker looked like gold. Chasing every little spike till my soul felt old. Draw down heavy, screen glowing while my coffee got cold. I was trading for my ego, not the plan I was told. Now I'm patient with the levels, I'm respecting the zone. I don't argue with the market, I just listen, then I'm gone. Got my wrist cap tight, 1% on the line. If the stock is hit, fine, I can always realign. I'm not here to be a hero, I'm not here to be God. I'm a father and a husband, I'm responsible to squad. So I track every entry, every exit that I take. If the math don't add up, then the setup was a fake. Yeah. Process over process, that's the law that I live. I don't chase every kiddo, I protect what I give. I'd rather take a small loss than lose the life that I built. I'm in love with execution, not the dollar or the guilt. Process over projects, I don't move slow it down, we rebuilding from the core. You ain't here to hit a lottery, you're here to build more. We talk journal talk, our talk, risk to reward. Talk about the days out when you don't need to record. Every trade ain't a trade, every move ain't a move. Sometimes discipline is sitting there with nothing to prove. I've been up, I've been down, I've been close to the edge, staring at the red screen with my hands on my head. But the moment that I chose to put my process on top was the moment that the spiral finally started to stop. If the plan says no, then it's no, let it go. If the side feels wrong, then reduce, trade slow. If your head ain't right, step back, lay low, cause the market gon' be here when you ready to grow. If the risk feels light, then you might size in. If the zone holds twice, that's a higher quality win. But you never break rules, just a trace doing a spin. Cause a gambler gets lucky, but a trader long-term wins. That's the line that I live. I don't chase every candle, I protect what I give. I'd rather take a small loss than lose the light that I built. I'm in love with execution, not the dollar or the guilt. Process over, profits, I don't move off height. Race first and reward, that's the way that I write. If the setup isn't clean, then I'm passing on the trade. Cause I'm married to the process, not the money that I made. Oh, profits over profits, put that line on my name. When my kids look back, they gon' see I played the game. Not the fakes on the ground, not the stunt for the fame, but your own best pick and turn the spark to a flame. Profits over profits, that's the code that I teach. From the live stream starts all the lessons I preach. If you follow through with work, it's not out of your reach. Let the process be your anchor while the profits just leech.
This that late shift, graveyard, pockets on E. This that praying in the driver, God, don't let me bleed. This that thumbnail, live stream, teaching about the teeth of the market while I'm fighting for my family to eat. This that knee brace, aching from the miles in the mud. This that E5 rank that I earned with my blood. This that YouTube grind when the views was a dud. Now we talking about a movement, not a maybe. This a flood. Sacrifice for the riches, that ain't just about the cash. That's about the sleep I gave up just to break a broken past. That's about the liquor I refused when I could've hit the glass. That's about the therapy I took instead of speeding off and crash.
That's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
I was clocking in for bosses that ain't know my middle name. They just saw the numbers hitting, they ain't see the inner strain. Then I turn my pain to content, turn my lessons into game. Now I got a tribe of traders that refuse to play the same. Discord buzzing charts up, members learning how to move. We ain't chasing lotto tickets, we're protecting what we prove. Teaching risk, teaching patience, teaching how to keep you cool. Cause I lost enough myself to write a whole financial school. My sobriety a badge, my resilience a shield. Every L I ever took became a tool I had to wield. When the market tried to break me, I just studied how it killed. Then I built a better system, now I'm walking through the field.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
When I say sacrifice, you say for riches.
Sacrifice for riches. Sacrifice
for riches, from the trenches to the digits. When I say process, you say over profit.
Process over profit. Process
over profits, we ain't stopping till we locked it. From the runaway son to the soldier in the dirt, to the husband with a white queen fighting through the hurt, to the father of 2 daughters that he put in every verse, to the trader and the teacher helping others break the curse. I'm the sum of every scar they tried to use to hold me back. I'm the voice of every kid who had to grow up in attack. I'm the proof that if you're willing to go all in on the path, you can lose a couple battles and still never lose your track.
sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, now I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
Yeah. I came up out the shadows with the pain and never settled. Had to wrestle with the demons in my chest like they were metal. Every step another lesson, every failure made me special. I was built inside a furnace, pressure cooked me in a level. At the level I ain't never seen before, but now I'm stepping like I'm in it. Had to move without a mender, had to hustle independent. All these nights I sacrificed, all these mornings reinvented. Woke up hungry, woke up stressed, but still I rose, stay relentless. Family on my back, I made a vow that I'll protect. Every tear my wife and cry became a sword inside my spirit. Every doubt I ever heard turned to fuel, now I'm fearless. I've been broke, I've been stuck, I've been praying for a clearing. Now I'm walking with the thunder in my chest, can you hear it? I ain't folding, I ain't stopping, I ain't bowing to the pressure. I'm the one that broke the cycle, I'm the one that learned the method. All this pain became a blueprint for the man you see progressing. I'm a product of the struggle, I'm the proof that God invested. Who he knows gon' change the message. Yeah. Grinding like I'm on a timer. Every move a new assignment. Never asked for hand-me-downs. I built the throne that I recline it, and came from moments with my pockets on E. Nobody checking on me, but I stay plotting heavy. Cooking game that wasn't free. Man, I gave more than I kept. That's the leader thing in me. I pour knowledge, feed the fan. Still remain a humble beast. I don't flex, I just work, I don't brag, I convert. All that trauma from the past, give me mileage for the turf. All that noise people talk, I'm too locked to get hurt. All that doubt just hit the filter, now I'm sharper with my work. And my daughter see the fight, see the grind, see the rise. I'm the father that I prayed for when I didn't have a God. I'm the man that I became through the nights I nearly died. But I never backed down, I adapted, then I thrived. Yeah, I've been running through the pain like a mission, like a vision, like a prophecy with discipline. I'm sculpted by the friction and the losses in the distance. Every dream I ever whisper came alive from my persistence, and the hunger in my stomach that was louder than resistance. I'm all resistance. I'm the quiet storm form. I'm the king they ignore. I'm the work ethic force. It's in a world full of noise. I'm the echo of the nights, and nobody heard my voice. Now they call me like scripture. Every time I make a choice, made for this car, for the grind and the shift. Built from the mud with a heart that don't quit. Still give game like a gift. Still serve when I live. Still thank God for the wins, cause I know what it is to be lost, to be broke, to be holding on hope, to be drowning in a way that could break grown folks. But I rose, staying close to the code that I wrote. Every setback was a lesson that refined my growth. Now I stand with the proof of the battles I survived. Every cut, every bruise was a badge of the clown. I ain't perfect, but I'm present and I'm built for the times. And I give cause I know what it's like, needing a sign. Success never made me forget where I'm from. I still wake like I'm starving with the fire in my lungs. I still grind like the rent ain't paid and the storm ain't done. I still move like battle just barely begun, but I'm still rising, still testing, still chosen, still investing, still humble, still aggressive, still thankful, still relentless. Yeah, this the story of a man who ain't fold under stress. Since the voice of the struggle turned into a weapon. Yeah. And I'm made for this, and I'm made for this, and I'm made for this, and I'm made for this. No question. Yeah.
Hey, what up, though? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Man, I'm so sorry. Look, one thing I cannot control. Oh, hold up. I'm on my mic. One thing I cannot control is when this monitor decides it wants to do a panel clean. So I apologize, everybody. I can't like stop it from happening because then it'll just keep asking me and then it'll force it. So my apologies. My apologies. All right. 1, 2, 1, 3. We got one. All right, come on. We only got 14 people here. Look, I did everything that I could except for like pay for some promotions and to make sure that this live stream was put out like scheduled yesterday so we can have time for people to catch on and be here today. So let's see if we can get it going. All right, let's see. What is up, everybody? I see you, Rev. Thank you so much for the blessings. Denise, I see you. Miss Nero, hey, I appreciate that. The songs, just so you know, it's like a lot of AI. But hold up, let me see. But it's a lot of work too. I mean, people think it's super easy, but it's not. Especially if you really care about the music that's being put out. A lot of it is personal experiences and like things I actually wrote up, and then I just had AI kind of clean it up for me. And then I use AI in order to generate the sound, right? So that's kind of what all that is. But it's a fun hobby for me. All right, Roll Life, I see you, big dog. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Queen Denise. Hey, Queen, I got a shout out for you today. All right. Quanderson, I see you. JC, I see you. Ricky, what is good? This is a close-knit group. We gatekeeping real. Oh, let's go. We gatekeeping. Who got the keys? Who got the keys? All right, look. I've already wasted some time, right? Start time is 6 p.m. It is 6:15. Typically, this 15 minutes is utilized to get everybody going, get everybody in, and then, you know, we start our process. So for those that don't know, my name's Darrell. This is Stocks for Real, Sacrifice for Riches. I am a trader. Hold up. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I need my phone today because Weatherman Real is going to be here and I need my mic. Hold up. Do Not Disturb. And there's a lot of AI callers nowadays too. It's insane. So I'm a trader. I've been trading for like 5 years. I didn't really get profitable in options until late 2024. From there, once I started profitability doing that, I started to dabble into futures. Actually, a little bit before that was futures, and I'm on the way as far as like getting that dialed in and locked in. So I am a crown trader in Keenan Grace's Discord. If you don't know, Keenan Grace is a multimillionaire who started as a school teacher, and I've been following his process or progress since not since beginning, but for a while, for 5 years or so. So I am a crown trader over there. I've been helping the community for 5 years, 10,000+ people, several occasions or whatever, just sharing the knowledge that I've absorbed, and then pretty much sharing the L's that I've taken, and pretty much converting those to lessons for others in order to help kind of, limit the L's that they might take along their journey. So that's kind of what it is. I am not a millionaire. That is why you see a milli up top. That's because that is an aspiring goal. I mean, I want y'all to understand that a milli is not really the goal. I mean, it's just like, let's just build wealth. But sometimes, like, I remember practicing manifestation, and it was at one point where I was like, man, like, it would be dope just to see 10 grand in my bank account, right? And for a while, I just kept saying that, and it wasn't there. You know, I can make it, but then all that's going to bills or whatever. When you got kids, house, all that stuff, right? So what I decided to do was start to envision that amount of money being deposited into my account, right? Over and over and over again on a daily basis almost. And then next thing you know, you hit it, and then you hit it again, and then you hit it, and then I'm like, that's dope, right? So now that's kind of like easy street, but now I'm trying to think, okay, what's the next level, right? Where do I need to be in order for me to not only like put my family more ahead, but also help support my mom, right? Because, you know, she's a big part of my life. I love her and she shouldn't have to work, right? So that is now my aspiring goal, to make enough so she don't have to, right? She don't have to work, right? So that is what it's all about. If you can trade and give yourself reasons that's bigger than yourself, then I think there's a stronger chance for you to be successful in this game, right? Because there's just this relentlessness in people that if the why is strong enough, then there's no way they're going to be defeated. And the only thing that it really takes is time. So time in, I think it's time served, and then that's how you kind of get to where you want to be. I'm not where I want to be yet. I don't pretend to be somebody I'm not, and I always keep it a buck with everybody. So completely transparent. If you know me, you know I live trade, and you know I do live training sessions. When I live trade, I show you everything, right? Like I show you my chart, I show you my phone, and then you see me actually searching for the contracts. You see me enter and exit contracts. You see me set stop losses. You see the gains and the losses, and I talk you through my psychology and the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. I narrate the entire process, and I do that at minimum 4 times a month, right? So I want to do it more, but you know, there's constraints as it relates to, you know, your normal job. It is what it is, right? You work for somebody else, and you have to take care of your business, right? So that's kind of what it is, right? So welcome everybody. This is Stocks for Rails, Sacrifice for Riches. After I take a sip, Weatherman Rails kicking in. And we're going to talk about how we hit 145% on what? Bank of America, right? Bank of America put options. We hit on several other things too, but we're going to talk about that one in particular, and then we're going to get into the rapid fire chart analysis. Okay, following that. Okay. Before I begin, is there any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns? You name it. Let me see if I can show you. While we're doing this, while I'm looking for questions, I'm going to just show you the wins. And I always show the wins. I also show the losses, so don't get it twisted, right? Last week, I showed the losses. This week, it's about winning. And it is what it is. So pop that on the screen real quick. So we got Nvidia, we hit here and here, okay? In here. So we got a lot of Nvidia, but we talked about Nvidia in access. Today was a nice meta day where we hit 62% on that. And I want everybody to know, if you are here, right? You're not in either of those discords, rather it's KGU or rather it's Sacrifice for Riches, then you may not be privy to some of these plays that were provided. But I want you to know that I do not eat alone. If you ever see me showing a play, it's never a play that I've held or kept to myself. It's 100% almost always levels, alerts, or something like that provided to everybody else, because there's room at the table. And it doesn't take me any time for me to send a notification. And in reality, in the Sacrifice for Riches Discord, the moment my chart alert goes off, they get a ping. If you're a Megalodon, they get the alert the exact same time I get my own alerts, right? That way there's no delay. I did that so people didn't have to feel necessarily rushed to enter, but also so you had there was no delay between when I get the alert and when I enter a trade. Because once I do all that, I could be up 20%, and then I'm texting you guys, right, saying, oh, I'm in. By that time, it could be too late and you missed a proper entry, right? So instead of me doing it that way, I now have an alert system that tags me and tags my Discord. This is not AI. This is alerts that I put together personally that brings my attention to the market. Market calls Rail. Rail picks up the phone, and I decide whether or not it's time to play, right? And that's how we do it in Sacrifice of Riches. And then I relay that information to KGU, Kenny Grace's University, if you guys don't know. All right. So that being said, if you are interested in joining, please hit the money sign or whatever it is. That I think they made it easily accessible. And if you have any questions, let us know. Everybody name and green in here today, they can answer the questions. Those are members in the Discord. They are 100% community members that are there to learn, grow, but also support and elevate those that are coming in. So come on in, right? So let me take a look at the chat, and then we're gonna take a look of the plays. Okay, so you got to figure out how to change my name on here. It's supposed to be Q Anderson. Okay, all right, Q. I'm just gonna call you Q. You gotta. I get you. All right, Miss Nero. That's decent music came out. Hey, I appreciate it. I worked hard on that music. I do have a channel, S4R Sound. It's on YouTube. This new job messing with my bag, and I have horrible signal at work. Man, I get it, JC, but we're going to talk more about getting those plays set up. That is why they call me Swing Trade with Rail. Yeah, you probably should just call me Home Run Rail, because I be like, bam. Only if I'm more patient, I can have, like, you know. I am patient, but you know what I mean. Like, I get more home runs than not. What's up, Queen? LOL. And then let's see, Ricky, my job kills me too. I make more trading than at work, but man, I swear, yeah, you do. If you think about the time it takes to enter and exit a trade, you get paid more a second than you do per hour. Maybe, you know, I mean, it could be, depends on what you're trading. Oops, ignore that. Make more trading than, I know what you meant. All right, Denise, Queen Denise, go to you. Okay, she's helping. Hello, Queen Nisha. Let's see, Adam, I see you, big dog. Hey, my mama's in the chat. Everybody shout out to mama. That is Miss Elaine White. I shouldn't even say her last name, but it's right there, so I mean, it's whatever. That's Miss White. Hey, ma. All right, it's worth it. Okay, all right, so if there's no questions, without further ado, there's a lot of talking involved, so we about to get Weatherman Rail. He's about to be in the building. All right, so I'm gonna switch my scene. I'm gonna do a mic check, and then we're gonna get going. All right, so Weatherman Rail. All right, so we got my screen. Okay, and now let's see here. Mic check. Man, I got a low battery too. Mic check 1 2 3. Please give me a mic check. Let me know if you can hear me. And then once we get that green light, then it's go time. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Is the music too loud? I'm turning down the music. I'm turning down the music regardless. Turning up the phone. All right, we got a 1. I think a 1 is good enough. Hear you. Why I don't have a crown today? Okay. All right. So you can hear me? That's great. So we about to go and get right into it. Oh man, how I'm gonna set this up so you can see exactly as I see it. Give me one moment. Almost ready. I do this on 2 screens. That way it all makes sense. Okay. All right. I'm backing up, and I need to make sure that you can hear me. This is Weatherman Rail, reporting live. Let's go. Let's go. 1 in the chat. 1 2 3. God, I got 18% battery. All right. 1 in the chat if you can hear your boy. I just need a 1. I just need a 1. 1 1. I can see your chat. Come on. I know there's a delay, but we're reporting live. Come on. I think I'm good. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe there's like a big delay or something. All right, everybody. So this is Weatherman Rel, and what we doing here today, we talking about the plays that we just ran up 145%. And what is that? That's Bank of America. So before I get started with this, we want to say shout out to Queen Denise, Rapture Bound. She's in the chat. Her name is green. Shout out to her for bringing it to our attention during the last live rapid fire analysis. Okay, that was Thursday. So we got plugged in on Thursday. She was looking at calls. We talked about some puts, right? So we did our thing. We waited. We didn't hop into any plays. We were letting everything kind of get settled in. That was on the 16th. Now, let's talk about it. So right here, this is the day we charted it, right? This is the day we charted it. Now we zoomed out and we gave you a supply zone and a high level supply zone and a high level demand zone that you don't see on the screen. But right now that zone is irrelevant. Then we identified a key level to which I was looking for a rejection for a potential entry on puts. So let's talk about it. So first of all, hold on. I got to get better at this inverted stuff. Well, let's go here. All right, there we go. Yes. So right around here, I want you guys to know that in reality, this is showing signs of supply zones. There's two supply zones that are showing right here, right above this line. So what you see is as we are breaking, right, this level right here, we're actually losing volume, right? So as price is going up, volume is going down. That is divergence, right? That's when two things are going the opposite direction. So what I was paying attention to, and this is on the 20th, right, is when we run up, I'm looking at the volume. I gotta get used to this again. I'm looking at the volume. And then I'm watching to see if we're gonna come down and fall below what I know to be supply zones. So sure enough, the moment we broke back below this line, right, I hopped into puts. I entered, right, picked up my phone. I got that alert. The market called me, said, Rel, hey, get up, right? I was up, but I was at work. It called me. And I said, okay, let me take a quick pause. It took me 5 seconds to look at this trade and hop into the play, right? And what do? We rode it all the way down. And that led to a 145% gain. This morning star at the bottom, this doji candle at the bottom of this downtrend or retracement, right? That was my signal to exit, because that oftentimes results in a type of a reversal, right? So I didn't want to play no games. 145% gains. I set a 5% stop loss from here and got kicked out, and it was what it was. So shout out to everybody who hopped into that play. We 100% ate. We were eating. Let's go. Put a 1 in the chat or a fire emoji in the chat if you were able to hop into that trade, or if you got the alert of this play, because that's what's important, okay? That's what's important. Now, I want to let you know that Bank of America isn't out of the woods yet. In the long term, in the grand scheme of things, in reality, it is still technically bullish. However, this supply zone is so strong, right? This is where we have broken new highs. So we ran up and retraced, and we failed to continue and show bullish momentum to that zone. And we're since then coming down. We are failing to make our way above this $53 line, right? Which also tells us that we still do not have enough bulls coming in to pump this up. So for as long as this line is here and we're failing, it is a rinse and repeat, essentially. When you hit $53, you need to pay attention to volume. You need to pay attention to the volume. And then if you see volume slowing, then that might be a clean signal for you to enter shorts and make a bag just like we did on the 20th of the month, all right? So that is all I got. Any questions? Any questions? This was a little less, right? This was a little less detailed. Well, I mean, because it was a pretty simple play. The only thing else that I can, hold on, let me zoom out. The only thing else that I can identify and point out to you guys is what's happening with the EMAs, right? So if you pay attention to, let's go over here. If you pay attention to, hold on, 1 second. Hold up. Camera's doing funky stuff. All right. All right. So if you pay attention to the 20-day EMA and the 200-day EMA, I want you guys to notice something, right? So price is going up. We cut through this EMA level, right? However, when we got here to this level and we were coming up, the 21-day EMA was actually going against, right, the 200-day. So if this was to be bullish, then you would have seen this EMA level actually curve up, okay? Curve up, but it didn't. It actually went the opposite direction. So this was just a continuation, right? So another thing to point out when you're trading, right? A lot of times when you see a gap between the 200-day EMA and the 20-day EMA, oftentimes they need to tighten up, right? 20-day needs to come back because we got too far away from it. And then what you're looking for is like a parallel, like channel essentially of the two EMAs, and then you're paying attention to the next major volume spike from this convergence, right? So what happened once they got together? We got our volume spike, right? We got our volume spikes, right? And then sometimes it's false to start, right? But then gives you a false signal, and then you ride that wave, right? You just have to pay attention to what's going on. But shout out to y'all if y'all ate. This is all it is. All right, this is Weatherman Rail. Any questions? Any questions? Weatherman Rail reporting live. We're reporting live from Gainesville. That's where we at. We're in Gainesville. We're in Gainesville. It sounds like it's Kentucky. You know what? Gainesville might be an actual location. Shout out to Gainesville if this is an actual city. Gainesville. All right. All right. So let me fix everything up. Let's get back to it. Mic check 1 2 1 3. I think I was talking on the wrong end of my mic too. All right. Let's zoom back out. Too close. All right. All right. And let me change back. Whew. That's a lot of work, man. Weatherman Rail, man, he needs to get paid. he needs a salary. All right. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Did that work out? Was that helpful? Did you learn anything? All those things I want to know. And then we're going to kick it into the rapid fire live stream or chart analysis. Like this setup? Hey, I appreciate that, princess. I got 12%. We got out early again. Florida. Hey, shout out to Florida. Yes, and hey, Q, you in Gainesville? Gainesville, Illinois, or Gainesville, Wisconsin? We're in the Midwest. All right. So, there probably isn't any music. Okay. Any questions? Because now I'm going to explain to you guys the rapid fire portion of this stream. But before I do, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, consider becoming a member, all those things, right? If you appreciate what I just did, if you appreciate the content, if you're looking for live trading or live training, if you're looking for an archive of educational content, we got it all, right? We're a little community type college, close knit, but we all care, right? We all care, and we are all here for the same reasons. So please do consider joining. I do have an app, so I will be journaling all my trades today. I just got to decide whether I want to do that live with the Discord or just kind of get it done because it's been a busy day already. Okay. But if there's no questions, we're going to talk about the rapid fire. And the only thing I want is to make sure that our like to view ratio is 100%. Because I don't think hitting the like button is too much to ask. Okay. Let's go here. Somebody tell me how many likes we got. I don't know why I can't see it clearly on my end, but it is a problem. Okay. I'm paying attention. Okay. Boom. Thank you so much, Queen. All right. So 34 out of 36. I love it. That tells me it's time to keep it moving. All right. So it is the rapid fire chart analysis, right? So if you've never been here before, what this is, essentially, I go over to the charts, right? And I'm looking to the comments for ticker requests from you, right? So I don't care if you're trading options or stocks or crypto. It doesn't even matter, right? Essentially, what I'm looking for is for a ticker request of you and some context as far as what you're trying to accomplish. Rather, you're looking to get into a call option, a put option, rather you're looking for long-term investment and trying to figure out where to get in, any of that, just put that context in there, because then I'll take that and then I'll try to narrate, you know, my response in my breakdown, correlating with what your request is, right? If that makes sense. So instead of me just having some broad scope of said stock or ticker, I am actually able to have the dialogue more directed towards what you're interested in. So this is a timed based event where I put 25 minutes on the timer, right? When this is pressed and I say go, that is when I'm looking for tickers within the chat, okay? Last piece of business. If your name is in green, that means that you are a Sacrifice for Riches community member, right? And you have priority, okay? If your name is in gray, that means that you're just a subscriber and you support the channel, you know, just by hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate it, but you are, you know, you're second, right? So if a green name pops up first, then, or it doesn't even matter. If I see a green name with said ticker, I'm going to choose that one over the gray, just so you know. The way to get around that is if you want to throw in a super chat or whatever. Otherwise, just do know that I do my best to get to almost all of them. Lastly, you also get priority if you are KGU. If you are a member of KGU, Keenan Grace's Discord, then all you have to do within that comment is type in hashtag KGU. I just want to know where you from, right? And then you also get priority. So you are treated just the same, essentially, right? So that is all I got. It always takes me a little bit to kind of get rolling, but then once I do, we're full steam ahead, okay? So all the plays that I showed you earlier, all those gains came from the rapid fire live streams, okay? Now, of course, I was doing my due diligence prior to, but, you know, if you're looking at the same stock I'm looking at, then, hey, it is what it is. But those alerts come in, and then those alerts are actually put out into the communities. So what's up, our prep? Okay, just checking in, big homie. Hey, much love. All right, so let me take a drink, and we're going to get into the rapid fire live stream. All right, let's switch over to my chart. Now let me make sure my chart is active. Where's my rapid fire? Okay, so that didn't populate. 1 second. Chart. All right, there we go. Boom. All right, we about to get into it. All right, so without further ado, this is the rapid fire chart analysis. Boom, we good. Let's go. What we got? Mike is good. I think it's good. Let's get into it. First tickers. Send those tickers, everybody. Let's get it. Sounds like you were talking about same things you wanted to discuss. I'll rewatch. Okay. KGU says LYFT. Lyft. All right. We talk about Lyft almost every week. So let's just zoom out and let's see what's happened since we last talked about Lyft. All right. So as I stated, Lyft was in a descending triangle, right? And we broken out, down and out. Not only that, we were also within a supply zone. So as of right now, we are looking pretty bearish on Lyft, okay? Bearish on Lyft. What we want to see at this point, now that we've fallen below the supply zone, the base of that supply zone at 1863, is for us to come back, retest, and be rejected again, okay? Now, you have to pay attention here because you do have a huge amount of sellers that's ready to absorb the price of Lyft, meaning that there's a bunch of people right here looking for the discount, okay? So just be careful, right? As of right now, again, for as long as we're below 1859, we're bearish. If we can see some bullish momentum, as long as we're below $19, we're bearish. But if we can see some bullish momentum through that, then, hey, we could be cooking. But we still have some resistance along the way. Okay. We do also with Lyft have have convergence here. So we just talked about this in the Weatherman Rails stage, right? Where we had our 21 and 200 day separated. Now they're coming together. Now we're looking for these two to run parallel for the most part. And you're looking for the first major like volume candle to hit, and so far I'm seeing selling pressure. We do have earnings coming up on February 10th, so whatever. But anyway, that's what it is. Currently, we're neutral with the bearish bias on Lyft. Moving on, what we got? UEC, looking for entry for stocks. That is Rolife. UEC. UEC is uranium energy. Okay. All right. Well, this right here in particular, Big Dog, this is a brand new kind of, stock that we're looking at. So this could take some time. But let's see what we can drum up because we are experiencing some new levels. Okay. Spark 40, Rolife. I want to do this for you privately, right? You are a Leviathan, and this kind of requires like some details that I don't really care to share here on the live stream. And then it takes some time as well. But just so you know, as of right now, you are respecting this 20-day EMA. However, you are really far away from it. So you could suspect some level of retracement. When? I don't know. But I will help you define these levels on the way up in case it just doesn't come back down. But just remind me in the Discord, and I'll take care of that, okay? Queen Fee says UNH. So looking at call, take profit targets. Okay. So UNH, Queen Fee is looking for take profit targets of this stock. All right. So this was, let's go here, weekly. Oh, you're technically at one. Okay. So you have one here, and then you have one here, right? So you're looking at the gap here, right? So we already hit one of the take profit targets at 376.72, and at this point, I guess you're bullish essentially if you are closing above this level. But let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. So be careful. I'm about to tell you why to be careful. Because if you're looking at call options, this is United Health. This could be coming down some more, right? If I draw my levels out, what I see here is an ascending triangle or ascending wedge, okay? And typically when I see something like this, this technically is more of a bearish pattern. Where it comes here, and then it'll fall out. But just be careful because there are false breakouts and breakdowns. So as of right now, we could be pumping back to 376.72, but pay attention to volume as you approach that level, and then be ready for a pullback. If it doesn't, then okay, great. Then you're looking for support at this level, and then you can continue running this up to the next take profit target of 439.68. Okay. Okay. I can get you more levels in the Discord, Leviathan tier. Hit me up. Okay. Let's see here. Cyrus says Google, Googl. I think, okay, I have two things for Google. One for this and one without the L. Let me see. Yeah, okay, got it. Googl. All right, Google. All right, so essentially here we already have our defined levels and zones for Google. All right, at this current moment in time, essentially for me at 330.43, this was the top of one of my trading zones for Google. We broke above it at 331.25. However, we are not yet confirmed above this level. I'm going to zoom into the 15-minute and give you some more context here, though. All right, so we cracked this level. We hit a double top or descending triangle. I mean, whatever you want to draw up here. It looks like a descending triangle, right? And then we fell back within our trading zone. The same thing is kind of happening here, okay? So let's pay attention and see what's happening as we crack this level. All right, so we got up here and then we were met with major selling pressure, right? We do have some supply zones forming up here. The supply zone in particular for this is, that's rough. That's a rough look at it. Sorry guys if I'm a little distraught. So let me catch up. All right. But anyway, so you're met with sellers up here, and now we're back at the bottom, or back at the bottom of the top of our previous trading zones. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. It's interesting because as we came down to retrace here, we did form a demand on the 15-minute, right? We had a hammer at the bottom of a pullback, right? Let me go ahead and tag this properly. Demand zone. Demand. Okay. So now what we're looking for is, hey, can we maintain strength above 330.43? And also, can we maintain strength above the 21-day EMA? One thing that I see right now that's going on is that we have the 20-day EMA pointing down and the 200-day pointing up. So we have some convergence. So we could see some chop here for a little bit before it takes off. So just be mindful. At this level of 333.65, we could see a period of rejection. If we reject here, then you have a classified head and shoulders pattern on the 15-minute chart. So you will get a play that looks like this. And then it would come on down to retest the bottom and either follow through, or like follow through and fall back down to 324.21, or bounce and blast through this supply zone. Sorry, these are taking a while, guys, but hey, there's details here that I want to talk about. SOX, this is brought to us by Queen Ernesha. All right, and this is Philadelphia Semiconductors. All right, so why does my candlesticks look like this? Well, that's weird, but okay. I think I'm on the right. Yeah, I think I'm on the right time frame. But let's see what we got here. No, something's wrong. All right, well, is this the right stock, Queen? I just want to make sure, because this is $8,000 and I don't know what you're trying to do. But I'm going to come back to that. Give me some context as far as what you're looking for with that ticker, okay? We want to keep it moving. Let's see, correction. Okay, SPX, okay. SPX, looking for calls. That makes more sense. All right, so the beautiful thing with XPX is that in reality, we are, hold up. We are in another trading zone. So I guess this correlates with the SPY. I don't guess, I know, but let's just see what we got. Give me a minute. All right, just from a level standpoint, if you guys are looking to trade SPX, then this is pretty much my trading zone. Let me just zoom in. Let me get rid of the QVP because that is irrelevant right now. That's for active trading, more so. But here's my trading zone, okay? This is a big range, but I'm showing you guys the next levels for SPX if we decide to pump, right? As of right now, we are above 680170, which is a level for me to which I would have a bullish bias if we're above and a bearish bias if we're below. We did get this little crucifix at the top. This is the weekly. I'm going to zoom in so you can get some more detail, but we do have an amount of sellers above this line too that's kind of trying to keep it down. But essentially, as long as we're above this level, we're more bullish. If you come back down and you start to see momentum lost to the downside, so volume dies for sellers, and you start to see some strong bottom wicks, then that could be a great entry for some potential calls. Now with this is also considered my chop zone. This is where buyers and sellers are in agreement of price, and if I were to pull up a volume profile, this would probably be pretty close to a D-shaped formation. Like, I'm sure that the point of control is between here and 6650. You know what? Let's just check it out. Okay, so we're right above my level. Okay, so we are at a point of control of 6849. So either which way, this is a chop zone. So you have to pretty much wait for your entry. Now let's zoom in to the 15-minute and see if it's showing me anything. And okay, so this is what's kind of going on with Meta, or was. So once we reached this level, we had this ascending wedge formation, which typically is bearish, right? However, we get these false breakdowns, right? And then a ricochet back up. So now we're looking to see if we have some continued strength. We had the 21-day crossing the 200-day EMA on the 15-minute, right? And then we have demand kind of forming here too. So now we're just looking for that extra push. The problem with this one right now is that you're a little far from where I would have my entry. So you need to look for a new point of entry if you're looking to trade this. And for me, this right here, give me a minute. I gotta dot this up so I don't throw myself off. Okay, so for me, like, as long as we can hold this level at 690149, then I could say that this would be like a solid entry for me. And pretty much at this demand zone at 690616, I would be looking to enter here if you're looking at calls. But you do also have to understand that the best entry is going to be the bottom of this demand zone, which is at 689.99 or 68.99. I'm sorry. And you do have the potential for this to fall through and then rock it up. So you do need to pay attention to see how price candles are reacting at the bottom of this zone if it does come back. And then just be very careful. Because this is how people get smoked and get kicked out of plays too early before it takes off. And in some respects, you might need to be your own stop loss, or just be very patient and wait for this move to actually happen. And this move meaning that once it breaks through, there's bullish momentum into demand, which leads you to hop into some calls. I have an example of this on Meta. That's how we played it today. And then I will let you know. I will show you that at the end of this. Sorry. What do we have here? Okay, so we got Bull, brought to us by Arctic Boy, Bull, Webull. So I think we're under $8 on Webull right now. But let's see how we looking at this very moment. I feel like I should have a chart ready to go for this, but it's not. So it's either not loading or I don't. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay, so with Webull, man, this is kind of interesting, right? I want to show you something, right? And this is on a weekly, so I know this is like big view, but just bear with me for just a moment. So we have demand forming, and then we have a supply forming. Now, one thing I hate, right, is when you have a sandwich like a too close of a sandwich supply and demand zone. This isn't, I guess, too bad maybe being a weekly, but we're gonna zoom in and I'm gonna kind of tell you what's going on. So essentially for Webull, the ideal entry for call options is where we are right now, between where we are currently in the bottom of this demand zone at $7.59. I'm going to set an alarm or an alert right above that. So when I get an alert, the community gets the alert, and then I'll know to consider buying stocks, or just say shares and Leap and or Leap options calls. So if this falls back and triggers, if you're a Megalodon and Sacrifice for Riches Discord, then you would also get the same alert and won't have to worry about it. Okay, so as of right now, we're still bearish, but we're inside of a demand zone that is very passive. I have to make sure that I tag this as a passive demand zone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I teach this stuff within the community, so consider joining. Okay, but essentially, yeah. Essentially, I would love to pick it up. Actually, let me update this right around here at $7.72. And I essentially would give up on this play as far as, hold on one second. Hold up. I want to make sure I'm tight. I got two. Hold on. Give me a second. This is 65 minutes. All right, I need to label these so I know what the heck I'm looking at. So essentially, I mean, you got a lot of buyers down here. That's all I can say about it, okay? I'd be looking just to keep dollar cost averaging into positions for as long as I'm within this zone. The moment I break, I'm not that fearful quite yet. Not until I see us living below this level at $7.57. And if we see solid candles close below this level, then there's a cause for pause and we could be in a free fall. All right. But just do know that if it breaks below, then you're waiting for that bullish reaction. Man, when I tell you, if this reaction happens, then we're swinging for the fences. I am loading up on bull if this happens, right? Because I know what happens next, right? So I'll leave it at that. I have my alert set and we're going to go from there. We got Denise. Hold on. And Miss Philly says, did you see my request for UUU long term? I did not. I got it now though. Thank you for reiterating. So UUU Energy Fuels Inc. by Queen Philly. All right. So we plotted this a while ago, right when it was $11, and it looks like it hit the levels and it did exactly what we needed it to do. Well, guess what? We're way beyond that point right now. So what's cool about this right now, like just off top that I can see, is that we do have a nice pattern that's forming. So you have a standard cup and handle situation that's happening here. Okay. So now at this point, because this is a cup and handle, I'm looking for the handle. Now, if you know cup and handle, you know that there is like an equation to this. You may or may not know, but there's a percentage to where the handle actually moves before it kind of like proceeds towards the upside. And I want to say it's about, it's like 15%, 15 to 20%. It was something weird. I have it in my notes. I haven't looked at it in a long time. I don't see a lot of cup and handles, but essentially I'm looking forward to kind of pull back. Pull back. Where's my thing? Pull back to about here at $22 before it continues up. And that's if it respects this level. Okay. I see something here, which is a potential demand, but also I see this as a passive zone and also an area of interest. So if I go here, check out the volume profile, man, okay, this makes sense. and this makes sense. Look exactly where the next highest high volume node is located, right at the base of my demand zone that I just drew up. Okay, so what that means is that we set an alert. If we set an alert here, right, we are wanting to make a play from this zone. Okay, so entering channel, and then that top of this channel is 2204. 2204, and then lower band is going to be 2079. All right, so I'm going to put in here entering demand zone from a cup to handle. Oh my God, what am I doing? Handle pullback. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'll get the alert if we hit here. But as of right now, we are branching away from the 20-day EMA. Everything is still pointing up, so we are still bullish. But I am kind of predicting that we see a little bit of a sell-off or just a pullback on this too. So let's zoom in to the 15-minute, see what's transpiring. So yeah, I mean, you see selling pressure increasing right here, even though we kind of have a little bit of a push up, and volume is decreasing as price is going up. So these are signs for me that we have a pullback coming. May you provide new entry for Meta? Yes, I may. Is Megalodon your thing? I don't know what you mean. Yes, that is a tier within the YouTube membership. So if you join on YouTube, the Megalodon is, is a tier. Yeah, you probably are just referring to like the concept, and I can get into that too. But let's look at Meta quick. META. So as you know, we just ran Meta up for a $400 move, and now people are asking about the levels. Now, I'll review Meta just real quick because this pertains to a ticker that I just went over that I wanted to kind of show you as an example. So this demand zone. So like we pumped up on Meta, right? I did not sell here, but I was paying attention, right? So I was in this play for Meta here, right? At 632.46. We ran up with solid candles, solid bullish momentum. We started to peel off, but I knew that we were consolidating, and we were either it's either accumulation or distribution. Accumulation meaning that we're just building up to take off, or distribution meaning we're kind of simmering down on bullish volume and we're probably going to sell off, right? So essentially, I spotted this demand zone on the 5-minute time frame. So if I go to the 5-minute, you'll notice that right here I established a demand zone. This is now where I decided to make the decision on whether or not I was going to cut my position. Okay, so as you can see, we did come and test the bottom of my demand zone, but this is why I wait for the next candle, right? Because oftentimes once you pull out of a demand zone, you get a bullish reversal if this is just retracement, right? So you just have to be very, very careful because this is trying to trick you. And sure enough, it turned around and boosted right here, and I almost added to my position here, even though I was positive at this point about 55%. But I just chose to let it ride, and essentially I looked at this and just said, okay, the play isn't dead yet. So then as time progressed, we had a supply zone. And again, I hate this because now we have a range on Meta, right? And the cool thing is that we respected the range. As we came up to supply, sellers showed up and pumped it down. And as we fell into demand, buyers showed up and resisted the sellers. Then I noticed that we had a higher low. So again, I'm more confident that we're gonna pump through the supply zone, right? And sure enough, that's exactly what we did towards the end of the day, right? Now Now that I have a supply zone on Meta, now I'm trying to make sure and see if we're going to confirm above. Now, I know when I leave a supply zone that sometimes we're going to pull back and we're going to test the bottom of that supply zone. We talked about this during the live trading session, and it happened to the T when we were trading Nvidia, right? And then this happens. So it hits, that's our time, but I'll keep going for a little bit. And then it bounced up. So that respected my zone, right? For the most part, we were either going to live in here or we were going to skate out of here. And sure enough, look at us. We are on an up and up. And did I sell my Meta? No. Why would I sell my Meta? I understand taking profit, but at the same time, I am so far away from here, and I have not seen any instance of where this will be pulling back. And this is where I'm facing the fear aspect of trading, right? The fear aspect of trading is, oh crap, I'm up 62%, up $400 on this play. Man, I gotta take my profits, right? Yes, it's the only thing that's guaranteed in this market is when you close a position, right? And whatever that P&L says. So, but I made the decision to not sell, right? And this is a fear of mine. Like, yes, yes, you should lock in profits, but also you process over profits, right? Process over profits. That's my mantra. That's what I have to say, because too often I don't do this now too often, but too often we get out of plays too early. And I heard somebody say we got 12% on it, when I'm like, you got 12%, man, that means that you tightened your stop too close, and you rolled this too tight, and you didn't let your play breathe or take it to the profit target. So if we had hit my profit target, so if you're asking me what my profit target is for Meta, my profit target is 655.59. And I know that's far off, but that's my target. And if we hit that target before close, then I was ready to stop out of my position. But we didn't hit that target, nor did we fall back down to retest this level. So I have nothing that's telling me that I should get out of this position. So as of right now, I can go ahead and then just do a quick measure of distance, right? And then I can say that this was like a halfway point for me. And if I wanted to get more incremental and it help me with my decision, well, look, my decision would have been, well, if we cross this midpoint to my take profit target, then I'm still bullish on this play, right? So now this becomes my new floor, right? The demand zone, and then this is like my fail safe right here at 644, and we broke that. And essentially, I would just do this on the way up, right? Because essentially, we're probably going to be met with some type of resistance and consolidation as we move up this ladder. So the next closest take profit target for an early take profit target would be here for me, which I'm going to tag. And at this point, if you made enough, then congratulations. I'm going to put early TP target. That way people understand, and I understand what it is this alert is. And I'm going to go ahead and click my message, and then early take profit target. So when this hits, all the megalodons and the Discord will get the alert, and they will have to make a decision at this point whether or not they're going to want to take profits or not, right? This is also potential re-entry if we can confirm above. Okay, so that's what I would put there for now. I'm going to have to zoom out on Meta and then just take a look back in historical time and see how price was reacting to these levels. But I'm probably going to do that offline because I've spent enough time on it. But hopefully that's helpful. Let's see here. I'm on Dean's list already. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Tony, Dean's list. That's KGU, right? So yes, with me, you're privy to 4 live trades and 2 live training sessions a month, okay, with KGU, okay? But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Denise says, I am working on that. Process over profits. No, I got out at 12%. Didn't use stop loss. Just got out. I get it. Queen, especially if you've been in a situation where you've been getting burnt, right? And you haven't been making a lot of money or taking profits. Sometimes just do it, right? But just be accepting of the decision, right? I know and I knew that if I got out of my meta play at 62%, even though I'm up $400, me knowing what I know of the charts, I would be upset. Personally, I would be upset if it continued to run without me or continue to run. And technically it is. That's what's happening here. We closed at, hold on. What? Hold on, did we close? Where's close? I think, yeah. We closed, I think, above supply. I think this makes sense. It's the time thing. Because I know 3 p.m. my time, which would be here, but that doesn't make any sense. So close for me would be here. I got to check and see my time on this chart. So, but either way, there's nothing here that told me that I was going to be, yeah, I think this is closed. Nothing here that was telling me that we needed to short, and I would have just been upset that I didn't hold. And if this just pops off tomorrow, and let's say it hits my target and I wasn't in it, I would be killing myself. Now, if this falls, right? Let's say this falls all the way back down to where I started. Will I be upset? A little bit. Well, yeah, I'll be upset, but at the same time, that was the decision I made before the market closed. I have to live with it, right? Like, I made the decision to let my play out. I initially got into this trade as a swing trade, not a day trade. So that also is what led me to stay in it, right? So anyway, I only got one con meta. I was up 32% at the end. Hey, shout out to you. Are you still in it, Cyrus? What time is your live training sessions? Mornings, right? But sometimes, like, I do futures, and I go ahead and do those sometimes on the weekend or before market opens. So, but those are sometimes megalodons are privy to that. But then there's another tier that's within the app that we have that's called Leviathan, that's focused more on that stuff. I don't do coulda, woulda, shoulda, LOL. Just happy for prop. Hey, there you go. Hey. That sounds like you're really good at accepting the fate of whatever comes. All right, so it says Nvidia. I'll do one more ticker, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit of the breakdown of what we covered, and then kind of go from there. So Nvidia, I'm a little upset with me in Nvidia because I'm in a trade right now on Nvidia. And the problem with this is that I technically should have been up like 100%, right? I entered here, right? And then it ran up to here, right? But because of how much time it took, and then the retracement aspect of everything, it just didn't work out. I mean, as of right now, I'm sitting negative, even though I'm above my entry. Why am I negative? Well, because my contract ends tomorrow. I did not give myself enough time, and that's pretty much like a rookie mistake, right? Because essentially, if I'm getting in this with an intentions of swing trading it, then I need more than 24 hours. Now, on the plus side, like, I also was thinking, well, if we have a monster run in the day, then that one DTE is going to print very nicely. So for instance, my take profit target is 191, right? If we ran to that today, that, no joke, probably would have been about 1,000%, 800 to 1,000% gain, which I've done in the past. And it's on plays like this. So tomorrow we'll see where Nvidia opens, but essentially if we break below here and confirm, then it could be a wrap, but we are in a demand zone, so we got to be careful. I would much rather see this stay above the demand at 184 and then get above this POC at 184.71 and take off. So, so yeah, to be determined right now. Let's see if I can give you some more clarity on it, because I'm also in this play. And I just need to see. Yeah, we're still bearish from that perspective. This is the 5 minute. Let me go to the 65 minute. Okay. All right, so we're in a zone. I hate when I'm in between a 200-day and 20-day EMA. The cool thing is that my 200-day is flattening out, and then the 20-day is coming up. So you're seeing the convergence, which is good, right? However, we're not out of the woods yet. We like this big boomstick right here, this candle, but the problem is that as we broke, we've seen a lot of wicking, a lot of indecision. So there's no strength on continuation here just yet. As we broke, price went down. As price was going up, volume was going down. So all of these were signs that we were going to retrace or kind of just sit here for a little bit. But as of right now, it looks more like divergence than, distribution than accumulation. But we'll see. I just need us to stay above this demand zone, and if we can see some bullish momentum above here, then great. But yeah, this is not a good sign per se for a bullish move. Even though we're bullish, if that makes sense. Hopefully I made sense on that. So I just want you to see. So as you can see, what's going on with this, right? Let me go. Let's see if I can get a better signal, better line, just to see if I get a cleaner pattern. Okay. Okay. So this could have been considered a false breakdown on a head and shoulders, and now we're pretty much denying this here and should be headed towards the supply zone. So the next take profit target is 194.22 if we can find the buyers to step in and pump us up. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then I know people draw these patterns. I think this one works. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. I don't need to go into all that. Okay. So without further ado, let me see what we went over. The time has expired. Let's see how many tickers we talked about today. We talked about Nvidia, Meta, UUU, Bull, SPX, SOX, Google, UNH, UEH, Lyft, BAC, right? So we talked about all of those tickers. Shout out to y'all for contributing to the live. Y'all are the engine that kind of keeps this thing running. So if this was helpful, please put a 1 or a fire emoji in the chat, because that tells me that this is something that you want to continue doing and you want me to keep showing up for. Man, shout out to 50 people being here. Put a like in the chat for your boy, all right? Let me know that you are appreciative of this. Now, this isn't my cleanest rapid fire stream, okay? I'm a little tired. I'm a little rusty, but hopefully you can see the value in it, and hopefully you were able to gain something from it. So let's take a look. Shout out to you, Cyrus. Hey, Cyrus, let's wake up to some gains, big dog. Meta about to pay me. All that data it be stealing, about to pay me for my data. Meta about to pay me for my data. He's sending me a $35 check. Get out of here. Who got a $35 check from Meta? Hey, shout out to my wife in the building. Hope everyone stays warm. Yes, we gonna need to bundle up. It's a cold world. Hello, Mrs. Rail. You was okay. My mom and my wife are chatting in the chat. All right, so that means be respectful. Hey, thank y'all so much for the fire emojis and let me know. Like, this participation is so helpful. Okay, it's very, very helpful because it just tells me to keep it going. So guess what? I'll be here again next Thursday, 6 p.m. Right? Hopefully I don't have any technical difficulties. However, things happen. Bear with me. I'll make sure that I make it worth your time. At least I'm gonna try to. Can you go over IWM the next time? You know what, big dog? I'm caring, so I'm gonna go over it right now just for you, okay? Because I didn't get a lot of subscribers tapping in. Okay, I know we have a lot of viewers, but not everybody kind of contributed here, so I'm gonna take care of you right now. IWM, this is a bonus, right? Russell. Ooh, all right, we like the Russell. That's where we got our SoFis of the world comes out of this one. Man, I mean, so I don't know exactly what you want to know, but just letting you know, man, like this is what I would do. This is just telling you straight up and down to follow the 21-day EMA. You come down here and you start to see a slowing of bearish momentum, then you look for your point of entry here. So right now it's 263.17. I'm gonna draw a line here real quick, and then just take a look at a closer time frame. All right, so let's go with the 65-minute. Okay, yeah. So I mean, even right now, on a 65-minute, we have an established demand zone, right? I'm gonna go ahead and put demand zone. Now that's kind of weak, but I'll take it. Let me just double check. Let's see if I can get a cleaner. That's pretty clean to me. All right. So, look at that. So this 263.12, right? It lines up with the bottom of my demand zone, but also this is the 4 hour. What do you call it? 4 hour 20 EMA, right? So that for me, that's my foundation. For me, as long as we're above this, if we can come back down and retest, great. Okay, on a lower time frame, as you can see, is lining up with this previous retracement zone. So at 267. So essentially, what I'm seeing here is that ideally, we would love for IWM to come back to retest this level at 267.17 and look for a potential bullish continuation. So we're looking for a reversal down here. So I mean, but yeah, I would just keep it close to the chest, right? I'm gonna put an alert. I'm not gonna put a tag on this for Discord members. Essentially, I'm just gonna bring it to your attention, and you can do what you will. But I don't like it right here. I would much rather pick it up in the demand zone area, right around 264.86. Between that and 263.12. So I will go ahead and put an alert here, and say entering demand zone, potential calls, options, and this is a passive zone for me. Passive, right? So that's enough. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want more information, you guys need more context, blah, 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 right? Like, then again, try to consider becoming a member. We dive into a little bit more details for members only. But this was pretty detailed, so hopefully it was helpful. But yeah, let's see here what we got for questions. I'll leave 2 minutes always for Q&A. Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. So this is like chopping it up. So what we got? Any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you would like to see more from this live stream? And then I'll do my best to kind of, accommodate. Hey, 58 likes. Hey, I know some people get thousands of likes, and shout out to them, but I'm humbled and grateful for the 58 I got. So thank y'all so much for showing up and participating and just supporting me as well as I support you on your journey. So, yeah, that's what I got. So no, thank y'all for subscribing and liking. That means a lot. How do I get your dailies? All right, so there's two ways to do this, Tony. One, you can click the app at the top of the screen, right? There's a link, and within that app, you can go ahead and sign up for the Megalodon tier of the app. They'll unlock pretty much the full app to you, and then you'll have access to all of my swing trades. From there, on the rapid fire page, you can search for any ticker that I've put in there for potential leaps or swings and play them accordingly. I do oftentimes let people know whether I'm in or out of a plays within that app. Now, the other way is if you're a Megalodon you've joined the Megalodon tier here on YouTube, right? And then you join the Discord, which is included, right, with that tier. And then you'll have access to rapid fire chart analysis, like those alerts, and they happen daily. And there's always plays. And then the swing trade alerts, those are the ones I just give to the community. And then you also get something I call coaches plays, right? And then these are trades to look for on the horizon. So like you don't need to hop in right away, but hey, the breakdown is there. You'll see the entry, the exit, the take profit target, the contract that I'm looking at, as well as the estimated premium cost with some details. So all of that's kind of baked in to those things I just spoke to. So if you guys are interested in that stuff, then hey, by all means, hit the join button or download the app, which one, and then I'll see you over there. So thank you so much. Let's see here. How do you come up with supply demand zones? Arctic, there are classes that I have that is public, but then, come on over and I can show you exactly the breakdown. But essentially, I'm looking for price action to determine what the supply and demand zones are, right? You want to identify where all the buyers are sitting and where all the sellers are sitting, and you can use a combination of things, whether it's volume, whether it's price action candles, whether it's that's pretty much the only thing I use for mine. But I find them in a very specific way. But I just found them in a very specific way. Where the ones that I find have a higher probability of being respected versus doing supply and demand just in a general sense. There is a like a universal or general way to find them, but that's not how I operate. I try to keep things simple and high probability so I can get my home runs, because I enjoy home runs. So come on over, join, and then I can teach you that stuff, or you can go ahead and look at archived content once you join as well, and then the complete breakdowns are there. All right. In the app, I think I also have it broken down. So let's see. You also got Cyrus. When we're talking about options, when does the Greeks become a factor? They're always a factor. When do they become a factor? They're always a factor. I mean, it's just a matter of how you're trading. So if you're scalping, then it's really not really that big of a deal, because your plan is to get in and out within a 3-minute time frame, maybe. If you're day trading, then you need to pay attention to your days to expire. That's very important. And also your Greeks. So the main ones I'd be looking at is the delta, the theta, and the IV. And sometimes the gamma is helpful as well, but those are the three core ones. I did create a short reel video that explains what those are, so just go ahead on my shorts feed and you'll see it. It's pretty clear. It's a white thumbnail that shows like a Greek symbol, and then you can get the clean breakdown there. Okay, but yeah, they're always important. It just, again, there's more to it, and it just depends on what you're trading, how you're trading. Let's see here. And Angela Hyrel, which indicator do you trust the most for entries, and which ones do you mostly ignore? That's a great question. I don't. That's a tough question. Okay, because an indicator, for me, like, is my supply and demand zones. So the indicator I trust the most is volume. So there you go, volume. I trust volume more than any other indicator. But if I had to rank them, volume, supply, demand, and EMAs, right? No, volume, supply, demand, QVP, and EMAs. Let's see here. Eddie says, I got the bachelor's on KGU, but I have the chef's plan on Patreon years ago, and I've seen to upgrade to doctorate. I haven't got a call, even though I booked a call. What can I do to upgrade? DM me, okay, and for KGU, and then I will make sure that the powers that be get this message. Okay, I will make sure that the KGU team gets that call to you so you can upgrade appropriately, big dogs. So just DM me. My DMs are open. I do not accept friends requests, so don't try to add me. And if you can't message me because you're not my friend, then that means that you have to change the settings on your end to be able to send the message properly. Okay. Cyrus, so Roll Life says, Cyrus, your Greeks tell you whether it's good contract. They're important. Yes. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, fire. Okay, and Cyrus, gotcha. Roll Life and Rail. Thanks. Yep, absolutely. Dude, for the Greeks, I mean, the higher that delta, the better. But of course, you already know the more expensive that contract. The lower the theta, the better. But you know, of course, the higher that number, the worse, the more theta eats your premium. So the most ideal Greek setup, just period, broad scope, is delta over 0.25 and a theta under 0.01. So that's what I would be looking at. Yep, all love, big dog. Shout out to you for wanting to upgrade and just have more access to resources. The only thing I'd say, anybody here that's KGU or Sacrifice for Riches, doesn't matter. If you guys are paying for like the doctorate tier and you're paying for the Megalodon or the Leviathan tier and the Dean Slips, whatever, like, make sure you're using your resources. Like, for real. Like, and if, like, I know it's a lot. There's a lot going on in these Discords. There's a lot coming at you, and we all have busy lives. But, you know, a couple things. One, use your resources. And two, if you don't know what resources to use, then listen to me when I say closed mouths don't get fed, and we don't know what we don't know. So please communicate, because everybody, especially KGU, if you're talking to crown traders, they want to help. Me, I want to help. Community members, people that are kings and queens that may not have the crown, you know, they want to help, right? So you have to say something, and you have to have the humility and be humbled enough to speak your issues, right? Because if you don't, then we don't know how to help you, right? So please please, please, please use your resources. And if you are at a loss, let us know somehow. Just let us know, and we'll direct you to things that may be beneficial to you. Some things you might have to pay for. Some things, hey, we got you, right? It just really depends. You know, time is currency. It's the one thing we don't get back. So, of course, hopefully you appreciate and understand the value of time, and you know, and respect it at the same time. Okay, but we do, between both Discords, I'm a one-man show and Sacrifice for Riches, and I do so much to try to make sure that I supersede and value what you guys pay for a price. And I think the same thing could be said in KGU, right? It's just a matter of preference, or like what's kind of important to you. Okay, so do you buy options that are already in the money? Sometimes, very rare, right? Very rare. Okay. Nandi, Queen, I'm done. But you are a Megalodon. I will get you an MU chart. Just please request it in the elite group, and I will get that over to you. You know what? No, Queen, I got you right now. Right, and then I'm getting off. Okay, give me a minute. Hold on. Where am I? I'm everywhere. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Queen 90 says MU. This is the only one I'm doing because the Queen doesn't ask for much. So, I mean, Micron. Sheesh. The fact that I was talking about it back down here at $96 is insane. And it's at $394. Wow. I've been talking about Micron for a long time, and I'm not invested. Queen, this is going to take me some time. No lie. But as of right now, the same thing kind of applies, that you're respecting the 21-day EMA on a smaller time frame. But do see and notice that on this weekly, you are very far removed from that, okay? That's a huge gap that needs to be filled, that will be filled. There will be a pop. This will be a problem. The distance between here and here, okay? The only other thing, give me a minute. But as of right now, we're still bullish. We're just starting to see some resistance on the 4-hour. All right. So, yeah, with this, Queen, essentially, I would just be playing the 21-day EMA and just paying attention to volume. But this is wild work. Yeah. All right, yeah, as I see it here, like, price is going up, volume's going down, but then also what's different with this one is that you're starting to see more wick than body, and then now you have sellers showing up. Okay? There's sellers showing up. So, but yeah. I think you're coming down, Queen, just for a little bit. And you're looking to see what happens at this level here at 387. If you're looking for like next levels, if you're looking for hopping into a call, what did you say? You didn't give me calls or puts or anything like that, or investing. Just let me know, and then I'll give you the 100% take profit targets and all that stuff. And the elite channel. So just let me know specifically if you want a full breakdown of the charts with the take profit targets, and then I'll go ahead and get that ready for you, okay? But I'll do that behind the scenes. Hey, shout out to Denise for giving a membership, right? How many people did we have right here? Let's see how many people stuck around. 39? Okay. Well, guess what? I'm gifting 5 memberships. Because the Queen just gifted some a membership. So everybody that's here, hopefully, you know, that came through and you're here to receive. Shout out to J Life, 2 Sour Juice, Torrance, Christian Maxwell, and Bread1R. All right, shout out to y'all. Welcome to the community. We gifted you some memberships, so hopefully when you get in here, you can see the value and maybe you'll stick around for a little bit, right? Y'all do need to know that if you're gifted a membership, there's no alerts or no renewals or anything like that, so you won't be notified on whether or not your membership is up. So what I would recommend is that if this is something that you enjoy, like being in the Discord and stuff like that, then please go ahead and upgrade and become like a true member before, like sooner than later, right? Because the last thing you want is for the time to expire, then you miss out on everything, because you will get kicked out of the Discord the moment your gifted membership is up. Okay. To join the Discord, go ahead and hit the members tab, look for the Discord link, and then follow those instructions. The only thing I'm going to ask of you is once you get in there, just type gifted, right? And then I will make sure that you are seeing the proper channels within the Discord. You are gifted as minnows, I want to say, or dolphins, but in the Discord, I give you dolphin level access. All right. All right. So shout out to everybody. All right, everybody. I overstayed my welcome. This is Stocks for Real, Sacrifice for Riches. Everybody, take care. Boys,
This that late shift, graveyard, pockets on E. This that praying in the driver, God, don't let me bleed. This that thumbnail, live stream, teaching about the teeth of the market while I'm fighting for my family to eat. This that knee brace, aching from the miles in the mud. This that E5 rank that I earned with my blood. This that YouTube grind when the views was a dud. Now we talking about a movement, not a maybe. This a flood. Sacrifice for the riches, that ain't just about the cash. That's about the sleep I gave up just to break a broken past. That's about the liquor I refused when I could've hit the glass. That's about the therapy I took instead of speeding off and crash.
For reset, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for reset, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
I was clocking in for bosses that ain't know my middle name. They just saw the numbers hitting, they ain't see the inner strain. Then I turn my pain to content, turn my lessons into game. Now I got a tribe of traders that refuse to play the same. Disco buzzing charts up, members learning how to move. We ain't chasing lotto tickets, we're protecting what we prove. Teaching risk, teaching patience, teaching how to keep you cool. Cause I lost enough myself to write a whole financial school. My sobriety a badge, my resilience a shield. Every L I ever took became a tool I had to wield. When the market tried to break me, I just studied how it killed. Then I built a better system, now I'm walking through the field.
Sacrifice for reset, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for reset, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I ain't breaking, I'm grown. If you looking for a hero who was carved out of the stones, you can see him in the mirror when you face it on your own.
When I say sacrifice, you say for riches.
Sacrifice for riches. Sacrifice
for riches, from the trenches to the digits. When I say process, you say over profit.
Process over profit. Process
over profits, we ain't stopping till we locked it. From the runaway son to the soldier in the dirt, to the husband with a white queen fighting through the hurt, to the father of 2 daughters that he put in every verse, to the trader and the teacher helping others break the curse. I'm the sum of every scar they tried to use to hold me back. I'm the voice of every kid who had to grow up in attack. I'm the proof that if you're willing to go all in on the path, you can lose a couple battles and still never lose your track.
Sacrifice for riches, that's the code that I live. Gave my tears, gave my time, gave my body, gave my ribs. For my wife, for my kids, for my people that I live. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, I'ma die before I quit. Sacrifice for riches, put the name on my stone. I was built for all this pressure, I thinking I'm grown.